Indianapolis at Houston. We bet the Colts at 6.5. We hit it on Sunday night. I'm leaning exec decision here. So if this is where
Do
you
it.
want to go to Simon Says,
No.
okay, exec decision. Indianapolis Colts. Um, just making a note here in my notes, writing it down. There's a lot that it's a scary one. We're going to be sweating this. It's going to be the end of the game. We're going to need Anthony Richardson to do something that he never does, which is be accurate or fling that miracle 50-yard pass to Alec Pierce for a touchdown. CJ Stroud does not look right without Nico Collins. He went out in week 5 in that Buffalo game after he scored a touchdown. The past 2 games have been on the road, but CJ Stroud in one of those games threw for fewer than 100 yards. Worst game of his career. His QB rating in those 2 games is about 45. No touchdowns. Completion percentage dropped considerably. I like, unlike the Pats, to me, this fits the bill of betting the underdog that is ugly. I think we've got a really good coach in Shane Steichen. And I also think we do have a dominant unit that favors the Colts. Their offensive line, their run blocking is the best in the NFL. And the Texans' rush defense is just not very good. And we might get Jonathan Taylor back this week. So I feel a little bit better about it. Home division faves, 7-8 this year, 45% since 2015. So this is one of those we'd always bet that I actually feel okay about.
I want you to feel better than okay. So we'll see if we get you there by Thursday. But yeah, this is a game where I really need Jonathan Taylor to be back because that to me is a big deal. That's the thing we've seen Houston struggle with this year is the run. He's one of the best running backs in football. We need him. Like we've seen that there is a difference offensively when he is in there with Anthony Richardson. They can do that read option. Like when you have to account for Richardson running and Jonathan Taylor, that's a pretty potent 1-2 punch running the ball. And you know, historically in his young career, we've seen CJ do well against this Colts defense, but that's with Nico Collins. Like Nico has been a killer of this Colts defense. Him not being there to me is the biggest deal. Like he's the reason they've always won or kept these games close for Houston in the last 2 years. It's like that combo of CJ and him attacking deep, it's been huge. It's not been the same since he's been out, right? Like Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, they don't hit the same as Nico Collins. They don't get open like he does. So, which is crazy to think. Just 2 years ago, that guy was you could have got Nico Collins for a bag of chips. Like now we're
Yeah.
talking about him as one of the best deep threats in all of football. So this matchup, you're talking about us just playing the number, and that's the definition of what we're doing here. Like we're trusting the number. You have to take this number. This is same kind of thing where the Colts know this is for their season, and you know they dropped that first one, and like we joked about, we know we got a little lucky, right? Like Richardson,
Oh, yeah.
he completed less than like 3% of his passes in that game, and it just somehow me and Chad still covered that 2.5 numbers. So a little bit of Russian roulette here, Chad, spinning the chamber again, hoping we get lucky with this one again. But I do like the matchup for them. We talk about, and we've nailed this with CJ, right? You back him as a dog. He covered last week, and you fade him as a favorite. I mean, he just has struggled as a favorite, especially as a big favorite. So yeah, this is a tough one to swallow because we want the 6.5. It was 6.5. The pros came and they bet it down to the 6. I don't mind taking the 6, but I could easily see this game landing on 6. It just feels like this is going to be that close of a number that it could get there. So my mindset of it, though, is I could see it keep going down. That's why I think you're smart taking this number now. I could see this easily getting down to 4.5 by kickoff. It just feels like it's too inflated right now, and it could move with the Jonathan Taylor number, with Jonathan Taylor being cleared to play.
Yeah, to me, this is where the coaching comes into play. And we've loved betting Shane Steichen in
Mm-hmm.
the year plus that he's been in the league. The Colts are 5-1 against the spread this year. They grind these games out, and he's really smart when it comes to play calling. Even this past week, you look at that Dolphins game, they're patient, they stay in it, they don't panic, they make play after play, they take advantage of mistakes. Like they got a winning record. that like they're not that far behind the Texans. Like if they beat the Texans, all of a sudden, like they might be tied for the lead in the AFC South. So it's an interesting matchup, interesting game. A lot of sort of narratives in this game.